That was a nice article in Herald.
But the thing is this is to do that.
Oh, you know, I actually called him and talked to him about
It's crazy, isn't
how.
it?
Yes, I know you will. I know you will.
Like, here you go. Support the troops.
No, they're just here to make sure that the sacred ground isn't, misused or anything.
But this is not sacred ground.
It really is in a sense because,
But it's
and
public.
actually we're doing it justice by being here today because we're representing what these men and women did.
Right.
So
That's
wait.
freedom of speech. So.
That's freedom of speech.
Wait.
But officially,
And another 150 events with more than 4,000 people around the country. We're also here to honor the 4,050 soldiers who have died. Yes, another 58 have been confirmed dead since we last met in March on the 5th anniversary of the war. So let's have 1 minute of silence to remember the fallen and the 29,000 injured soldiers that this occupation has brought. Now here are some of the numbers contained in our report. People in Illinois are worried about the economy, and they believe that a recession would hurt their state's economy. A big majority of voters believe getting out of Iraq is a top way to fix the economy. Here in Illinois, 59% of voters are worried about our sinking economy's impact on our state. When given a choice, 73% of voters would rather invest the billions we're dumping into Iraq each week on critical priorities here at home like healthcare and education. 52% of voters here in Illinois think pulling out of Iraq would help our economy a great deal. And people across the country think it's one of the best ways to help fix our economy too. In fact, right here in Illinois, the $28 billion that Illinois has spent on the war could instead be used to pay for health care coverage for 11.8 million people, Head Start for 4.2 million additional kids, 2.9 million scholarships to make college more affordable, 205,000 affordable housing units. This is information that our friends and neighbors need to know. Our state is hurting because of bad decisions on the economy and the push by War, McCain, and their Republican allies in the Senate. So after this press conference, we'll deliver the report directly to any media outlets that aren't here today. Next, we will hear from Dirk Enger, co-chairman of the Midwest Shelter for Homeless Veterans in Wheaton. Dirk served in the United States Marine Corps from 1983 to 1986 and was also a member of the Presidential Security Forces. He's also a member of the U.S. Marine Corps Silent Drill Team in Washington, D.C., and Dirk volunteered for a second tour in the Marines for Desert Shield Desert Storm and was highly decorated for his service. I'd like to welcome Dirk Enger.
Thank you very much. Again, I would like to remind everyone I am not here on the capacity for my shelter. That's just an organization I am affiliated with. In no way are my views here today a reflection of the organization for which I help co-found and co-chair. As you see here today, we've heard a lot of articles in the paper on this being hollow ground. And as one who is a veteran, this is hollow ground that we are on. It's hollow ground because it memorializes those that have made the ultimate sacrifice in this country behind us. But it also, to me, I have no power being here today to address the war and to be here to address the issues of the war, which have not been covered by this media and have not been really taken serious by this country, unfortunately, for the men and women that are serving on two fronts right now throughout this world. When you look at it, I myself buried over 300 plus in Arlington Cemetery, I buried the tomb of the unknown soldier from Vietnam after marching through the streets of Washington, D.C. And I can assure you, after burying many of my fellow Marines, which I knew, from the Marine barracks in Beirut, we are not in any way dishonoring this ground here today. I feel more like we are honoring it because we are standing up for what they fought for what they believed in, and for what we as a country should still believe in this day. If you look throughout this war, I have been a strong advocate, veteran advocate against the Iraqi war before it started, and I'm very proud to admit that. I backed Afghanistan, as did 3/4 of this country, for what we thought was a just cause against terrorism, and to get the oppression, people that caused terrorism within our own homeland here on the Twin Towers. But to invade Iraq, I'm sorry, I could not approve of that, and I still do not approve of it. I just want to let you know before I go into my speech what personally to me a veteran means. As one who has the honor and the privilege to wear this uniform, and I feel would never disgrace it, I just want you to know that veteran to me means those that are so willingly, so unselfishly, give themselves every single day to ensure that our tomorrow and our futures come true. They give up those. They don't ask. They don't have the right to step forward and say no when orders come across. They sign that contract. They believe in what that contract said. But they also took an oath, as all of us did that served in the armed forces, and all of us that have been elected to government office. And that oath is the Pledge of Allegiance. And in the Pledge of Allegiance is a quote that means the most to me: liberty and justice for all. And I hope after I get done talking here today, you'll ask yourself, where is the liberty and justice, not only for the citizens of this country, but especially for those, the veterans who have served and given us this freedom? Since this war has started, we have lost over 4,000 plus of America's finest. We have had over 50,000 wounded plus, even though if you go to the websites throughout this country, minus the DOD website, which was in the spring when they made a mistake and put up 50,000 plus wounded. If you go throughout this country as I have and deal with the wounded, from intensive burn units down in Houston to the amputees that come here to Chicago and see their faces, to see those young men and women, most of them double amputees, with no remorse for what they have lost on their body parts, but to only look at you as a fellow veteran and as fellow Americans and say, you know what, we fulfilled our obligation to this country. Why are you not fulfilling your obligation to us? To have over 650,000 veterans right now waiting for health care in a system when a country is at war on two fronts is a disgrace, and it's totally unacceptable to me as a veteran. To have amputees waiting in line for a disability rating right now is totally unacceptable. To have veterans right now from the Army and the National Guard and the Reserve losing their homes because of a credit crunch while they're over there serving 16 to 18 months, which is the longest tour of any armed forces of the United States to serve without a break in service. And to put a stop freeze on those veterans who have served this country so they can't get out. That is totally unacceptable to me today.